Logan Gilbert drawing a little picture there to present the news to the big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Cal, welcome to the National Pregame Show. We've been dying to chat with you on this show. We appreciate your time. Congratulations on the honor. Have you ever been this locked in? I said the stats before we went to the video. Your last 7 games, you're hitting over 480 with 6 homers. Have you ever been this red hot?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe somewhere in Little League along the way.
Is that what it feels like right now, Cal? Like Little League baseball?
It's baseball. It's one of those things where it's a funny game when, you just seem to get a lot of pitches in the middle of the plate. It seems to be, in consecutive games. And, there's some days where it doesn't feel like, you're getting a whole lot to hit. So it's kind of funny how, it'll come up on you like that. And, baseball is a funny way of presenting itself sometimes.
Hey, Cal, it's Dan. Can you see now why guys like to go hit at Wrigley Field in Chicago?
Yeah, it's not a bad place to play there for a hitter.
Kyle, what I've loved about your game, the way you've been able to do what you're doing offensively and still take a lot of pride in being behind the plate the majority of the time. Every other time that we've seen a catcher do what you're doing at the plate right now, catching is almost a secondary position. They're DHing a lot. They're playing first base sometimes. How are you able to manage the load on your body, balling out on the field on the offensive side, but still being there for your pitchers?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, catching comes first, obviously. That's the biggest thing that comes to mind. But I think, over the years, obviously, being in the big leagues now for a couple of years, you've learned to manage workload and understand what you need to do for your pitchers, for all the scouting reports, all the meetings, and as well as managing the workload of 2 swings of right hand and left hand. And so it's taken a while, and it's still not a finished product by any means. With just the game of baseball is tough. It's tough on catchers, and it's tough on the bodies and mentally. So just every day trying to stay fresh and trying to do what I need to do in the weight room, training room, and just trying to be consistent with it. I found that, the more consistent I could be with my prep and my routine, the better my body and mind feels, going into a game. So,
Hey, Cal, it's been awfully hot in the Midwest, in the Northeast. How exhausted are you after catching game in this excruciating heat?
Yeah, like you said, the Midwest, the East Coast, it's a lot more humid over there than it is the Pacific Northwest. We're pretty blessed to get some great weather over the summer. So a little chilly early in the year, but summers, I think you can ask anybody, that's played in Seattle, how amazing the weather there is. So we're definitely blessed. Being in the Midwest, it's a little different, especially from that catcher position. It's a little different kind of heat. We had 3 guys pass out the other day with umpires, one of our pitchers, and a ball boy in one game. So it was a little different heat.
Man, we out here in New York, man. It's 98 degrees today here. Y'all can. This is where you love the Northwest weather, man. But I want to be one of the first people to congratulate you. It's not official. I don't want to jinx it, but I feel safe congratulating you to your first All-Star game this year. You haven't been there yet. Do you think about being an All-Star for the first time? Is that something that you put on your list of to-dos going into a season?
I think obviously first things first is you want to win a World Series. You want to help your team get to the postseason, and that's the number one goal, obviously. But yeah, I think anybody who plays this game and wants to be successful, and obviously those individual accolades, that's definitely high on the list of the whole game in general. Being in the big leagues, you want to reach that pinnacle of your position, of your of that kind of stature of being an all-star, and not many guys get to say they've done that. So it's one of those things where hopefully it can happen. You never know. So fingers are crossed, knocking on wood, and that would be a cool experience.
You have the perfect demeanor to put together a historic season. Your on-pace numbers are bananas, Cal Raleigh. You're on pace to flirt with 70 home runs. The single-season record is 48 by Salvador Perez. You are a true catcher, and you said it in this interview just moments ago, catching comes first. Yet you're on pace to hit 67 home runs and driving 144. Are you trying not to think about the historical impact of this season that you're putting together right now?
I mean, it's a little hard when you put those numbers in front of my face. So.
That's what I do, Cal. That's what I do.
But no, I mean, you see all that stuff, and it's awesome, and those are obviously really great names to be even put in the same sentence with, and stuff like that. But I think the number one thing is you go out every day, you put your head down, and something that comes to mind is just Rents do every day. So it doesn't matter how good you are or how good you've been, every day you got to go out and you got to take advantage, and the game's never going to give anything to you, so you just got to go out there and take it and have that mentality every day. And that's just kind of what I'm doing, just keeping the head down and trying to keep going.
Hey, Cal, would the perfect day for Cal Raleigh be a homer from the left side, the right side, and catch a no-hitter?
Yeah, that sounds like a perfect day. So I think catching a no-hitter in general would be amazing. So that's definitely a bucket list item as well.
Cal, one thing I love about your team, you guys have all been together for quite a while now. Even seeing how Logan Gilbert, gave you the news right here of Player of the Week. It's so much gelling that happens with the team and so much celebrating that happens. And the one celebration I wanted to ask you about, it's an off-the-wall question, but I'm genuinely curious. What is it called when you're carrying the Trident up? Is there a certain name you have to that on the home run celebration?
Yeah, just grabbing the Trident.
All right, so when you grab the Trident, and I understand you do it at home, but y'all do it on the road as well. Is it ever awkward when you come in from hitting a go-ahead homer and you come to the dugout and you're carrying the Trident to the road crowd?
Yeah, but I mean, I will say it seems like they'll sell tickets to some Mariners fans, or I don't know if they buy them because they're gonna be close to the dugout. So you got like a good little 20 person group or something, sometimes a little bigger, and they'll be cheering. So you give them a little one for that, not too big. So
That's good. There's a big fraternity, and it's called former big league catchers. And there have been catchers that have won MVPs in baseball's past, and they're all pulling for you, man, to win this MVP. It's a conversation we've been having time and time again on the show since you've been emerging, you and Aaron Judge. Which catcher was your guy growing up? That you're Cal Raleigh's favorite catcher, and he's pulling for you to finish this MVP season off. Who was your guy?
Yeah, I mean, growing up, my era, I guess, was, number one overall was Jason Varitek for me. So He was the captain. I was a big Red Sox fan growing up, and he had the C on his chest, switch hitter. I loved everything about his game. So I love Jason Varitek, and like I said, it was somebody that I could relate to, being a switch hitter, a catcher, and something that was always ingrained in me was being a leader, and obviously with him being the captain, but also grew up with the Yachty, Buster, Joe Mauer era, where those were some pretty good catchers there. Watching their games, they're all a little different, but watching them all, they were super successful at what they did, and it was a lot of fun to watch those guys. Yachty, I mean, that's the guy every catcher wants to be behind the plate, right? Just controlling the game, throwing people out, blocking, doing the whole thing, just outsmarting everybody. He was a good one to watch.
He's done it all, except he never won an MVP. You were in the mix for that, my friend. Cal Raleigh, we'll see you in Atlanta for the All-Star game, okay, buddy? Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, guys.